Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and in today's video we are checking out the Soundcore AeroFit 2. Now with claims of all-day comfort, rich sound and amazing battery life, are they the new over-ear headphones to beat? Well, let's take a look. Now a bit of housekeeping before getting into the video. The AeroFit 2 are available in 4 different colourways. You have Midnight, Champagne Mist, Light Blue, and the version I have here, Minty Green. They're coming at $99 but can sometimes dip down to around $79 with some promotional offers, so keep that in mind if you're looking to pick them up. So let's check out what's in the box, move on to design, talk about the sound quality, and of course finish on the battery. So you've got that standard white and blue packaging that Soundcore is known for, and once you get into the box, the first thing that you're going to have here is going to be a quick start guide sheet. And this has got all the information with regards to the pairing side of things, the touch controls and exactly how that side of things works, and then on the back you've got the how to wear section, which again is going to walk you through the best way and the most optimal way to wear these headphones, because again it's a little bit different compared to your standard pair. Then of course we've got the actual earbuds themselves, and again I've got them in this nice minty green colour. Pop them off to just one side a second and see what else we've got on the box side of things, and of course all we're going to have here is a little bit more paperwork along with your warranty information, and then we're also going to have the charging cable. Now unfortunately Soundcore still hasn't moved over to completely USB-C just yet, so of course this is going to be a USB-A to USB-C cable, and it's also going to be a super short cable when it comes to that side of things as well, but again we'll go on to the charging and battery life side of things a little bit later on in the video. And then of course we get onto the AeroFit 2 in this nice satin charge case here, and again in the mint green colorway, which I think looks pretty nice. Around back you've got the USB-C for charging, although the case does wireless charging as well, and then you also have a manual pairing button, although it will pair the first time of course when you take them out of the box. You've also got an LED indicator light on the front side of things here, so if you can just see that just there, and again that's mainly for the battery side of things, for the battery indicator and also the pairing mode, so you know exactly what's going on with it. We do have a nice little Soundcore branding at the top here. It's super shiny but also doesn't really pick up fingerprints. Now overall the case side of things, yes it is big, but that's kind of with the territory with these sorts of earbuds. You're not going to get that super tiny case that you get with AirPods for example. Once you actually open the case, you then have the actual AeroFit 2, and straight away you can see they look completely different to your standard pair of in-ear or over-ear headphones. You have a little bit of info on the inside of the lid along with the battery capacity for the charging side of things, and then down on the bottom section with the actual earbuds themselves, you've got a little bit of an indicator here for left and right, so you know exactly which way you need to put them in. However, it's pretty simple. Once you actually put them in the case, they only go in one way, and again because you can adjust these to fit your ear, you will actually have to readjust them to put them in the case, and then also readjust again when you want to wear them. But overall I think the design here looks really nice. You've got that same satin finish on the outside of things here with the Soundcore logo, and that matches the case really nicely. However, on the back side of things is where you have that nice matte design to it, so a nice contrast here of the slightly shiny and then matte design on the back. Again you've got the indicator for left and right on this side of things as well, and of course you can then see all these speaker grills in regards to where the driver is going to be, and then the charging pins that match up in the charging case. And just in general design wise, they are built very nicely and feel super secure. Now one thing that I would say is without this back section and the actual hook side of things, this section in particular reminds me a ton of those Samsung, I think they were the Galaxy Beans I think they were called, so yeah, you kind of get the idea of what that's going to look like. Now this section here is where you can get the adjustment to get that perfect fit. Now it does actually click into 4 separate different lengths here, so again depending on your ear size, shape, whatever it may be, hopefully you can get that perfect fit. Now yes, it's not going to be as universal as using something like silicone tips with AirPods or any other headphone for example, but in general you've got a lot of movement here, so hopefully you're going to get a nice seal, but then again the seal side of things doesn't make much difference. They just have to kind of be close to the actual ear in regards to getting the sound across. But yeah, overall I think they look pretty darn good, but back to the video. So now we've got that out of the way, let's check out the design, and if you've never used over-ear headphones like these, they may seem a little bit strange at first. So with the AeroFit 2 you have a nice over-ear design, which basically means that they're just that. They hook over the ear and stay in place by adjusting the earpiece back and forth to get a nice secure fit. Now they may not be for everybody. If you've got super small ears for example, they may not be the best overall fit, but for me they actually fit okay. Now I say okay because while they are comfortable and they fade into nothing due to how light they are, they also don't maybe stay in place as well as they actually could do. Put it this way, unlike other headphones, there's a whole section online for the best fit for the different ear sizes out there. So yeah, if you want to get them, make sure you get them from a place where they can be returned in case the overall fit and comfort isn't really what you're looking for. So they're not necessarily plug and play like in-ear or over-ear headphones where you can simply take them out of the case or bag that they're in, put them on and you're ready to go. With these you may need to adjust them ever so slightly from time to time. Now that's for a couple of reasons, because for me I actually had to adjust them ever so slightly just to make sure they were in the correct place, and also when you put them them back into the charging case, they have to go in a specific way, which means changing the overall look and feel of them to fit the case and not your ears. Other than the fit, however, they are well designed with a mixture of matte and glossy materials, making for an overall soft touch design with a little bit of flair. Now, are they the smallest earbuds standalone or with a case? Well, no, the case is big and the overall footprint of each earbud could be the volume of 2 AirPods, but that kind of comes along with this sort of design when it comes to this sort of audio gear with the over-ear design. Now, because a lot of people use these sorts of headphones for sport, they are also IP55 rated, so they do splash from time to time, also when it comes to the dust side of things, and they do also have Soundcore's SweatGuard technology to, again, protect against that sort of thing as well. But of course, let me know in the comment section down below if you're a fan of this over-ear design, and if so, what you're going to be using them for, or if you're just the kind of person that prefers an in-ear silicone tip earbud or something over the ear like AirPod Max, for example. But of course, the looks department has nothing to do with it if they don't actually sound good. So how's the sound quality overall on the AeroFit 2? Now, just to get out of the way quickly, the sound is definitely going to be behind in-ear or over-ear headphones for the same price bracket. So if you're looking at maybe an older or second-hand pair of AirPods, for example, or an older pair of Bose headphones that are around that sort of $100 price tag, then yes, of course they're going to have much better sound quality, but that's not really the point in these headphones. Now, it is of course just the nature of the design. You don't get the silicone tips of the in-ear to create a nice seal, and of course you don't have the driver size of the over-ear and also that noise isolation. And of course, because they are more of an open-ear design, you don't get any sort of noise cancellation whatsoever at all, so if you're in a sort of louder environment, the way that they're designed, you are going to hear absolutely everything, which can be both a plus and a minus depending on who's going to be using them. However, what you do get here is some actually pretty good sound considering where the sound is actually coming from to reach your ear. You have exclusive Soundcore 20mm by 11.5mm drivers for high-res audio refined by LDAC2. Now, the adjustable ear hooks also allow for the speaker side of things to get around 5mm closer than other over-ear options, which helps with a ton of bass. Because of the type of earbud and the components that they've got, the closer you can actually get it to your ear, obviously the better sound you're going to be getting. Also, to help with this, you do have Soundcore's turbo bass. Now, naming aside, it's a nice feature to really pump up that low end. And being from Soundcore, of course, you do have access to the application to really go in there and get the sound you're looking for with some predefined EQs, or you can, of course, create your own to get that overall nice sound that you're looking for. This, of course, along with the single and double taps of each earbud to customize what that does, and if you ever used Soundcore products before, you're going to feel right at home here. Now, of course, with an over-ear earbud design like this, you do also need to take into consideration those around you, because again, nothing's in the ear, nothing's around the ear, there's nothing that they hold in the sound side of things, and they do say that they've done a pretty good job in regards to reducing some of that background noise coming out of the earbuds, but it didn't necessarily do an amazing job, but again, that is all dependent on the volume of the music you're listening to. But overall, for me, the sound side of things is good for the type of earbuds that we have here, but if you're really into your music and want to hear every instrument, key change, deep bass line or subtle vocal changes, then of course these aren't going to be the one for you. However, if you are into sport but you want to hear what's going on around you, you work in an office or you've got children at home, for example, then these are going to be a great option, allowing you to hear your music or whatever it is you're listening to along with your completely surrounded environment. Now, one other feature that they're pushing here is also the AI translation that's built into the earbuds and the application. Now, I'm not sure what's AI about it. Seems a little bit like Google Translate just from Soundcore. So your voice is captured through the earbuds and then sound is then output via your phone. The person you're speaking to then speaks into the phone and you hear it through the earbuds. So yeah, AI, I guess. Now, battery life, you're going to be looking around 10 hours on a single charge. Now, don't get me wrong, that goes up to 42 hours when you take into consideration the charging case, but I was expecting maybe a little bit more battery life here. Don't get me wrong, it's still good, it's still going to last a very long time, but not really a massive change compared to the competition, and something like the AirPods, which again are a lot smaller, the charging case and the actual earbuds are smaller, battery life isn't really too dissimilar between the two. And to wrap up with some other features, we have clear calls with a 4 microphone setup and multi-point connection so you can easily switch between your phone, laptop, tablet. It's a pretty versatile pair of earbuds. But that's going to do it, guys, for this review on the Soundcore AeroFit 2. Now again, let me know in the comment section down below if these are the sorts of earbuds you may be looking at moving forward, and if not, why not, and what is your preferred option. Now, like I say, for me, they're a really good option if you do need to hear your surrounding, but if you're really into music, vocals, podcasts, or even watching movies, then yeah, there's maybe some better options out there, but in terms of over-ear and exactly what these are for, they're probably some of the better options. Now, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. If you've got any questions, comments, again, in that comment section below, and just down there you'll also see the subscribe button, so if you're not already subscribed, now is a great time to do so. And of course, once you have hit that button, don't forget to also turn on the notifications so you're notified anytime I post a video here on the channel. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.